Welcome, anime enthusiasts, to Squad Nero, the ultimate destination for all things anime. Whether you're a seasoned otaku or just taking your first steps into the captivating world of Japanese animation, you found your home. I'm Rob, aka Sage, and with me today I have our very special recurring guest, musical joker, Chef D, T Smooth, your guides through the vast realms of creativity, epic adventures, and heartfelt stories that anime, animation, and gaming have to offer. Join us each week as we dive deep into the latest releases, explore hidden gems, and discuss the hottest topics in the Blurred community. Get ready for a journey filled with laughter, tears, and the unbridled passion that makes anime a truly unique art form. Without further ado, let the anime odyssey begin. Hey, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate
Hey,
that.
no technical difficulties. New PC. Who's
No
this?
technical difficulties. New PC. Shout out to T for that. If you got your PC, quick plug. If you got your PC problems and want to get your PC straight, hit up T Smooth. All right, hit up T Smooth. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. But we back in this thing, episode 19. We want to welcome back our very special guest, musical joker, our first guest ever to the pod. He is back with us to share his knowledge and everything like that. How you doing? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good as always. Happy to be here. Happy to talk about anime like before. I'm ready to get into it.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I think since this was a hot topic in the pod before, I figured we start off with this topic. Just making sure the timing is good. All right, yeah, 3:40. All right, so Invincible. I don't know, Joker, if you was able to finish that. I think Derek, you was able to finish the episode. I know T. I'm pretty sure you finished
Yeah.
it, but Joker, real quick, was you tapping into Invincible in this second part of the season?
So I haven't seen all of it yet. I've been getting like bits and pieces of it, so I'm like aware of what's going on. Especially since I have a little exposure to the comics as well. But so I checked with T just to make sure. So the finale of Invincible was having him go through like different dimensions or universes, right? And then we just see him pop up against Agent Spider.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
basically, yeah. Spoiler alert. It was a whole lot of things. They did some things that tweaked out the comics just a little bit, so
Mm-hmm.
that they didn't get sued. But it was still such a great. I think somebody asked him on Twitter. He was like, "No, that's not Bat. We weren't alluding to Batman at all. We were just saying it was a Bat superhero." Or a superhero based off of bat and everything like that, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever animal it was, type of thing. But it was dope how they was still able to finesse that and still give us somewhat close to the getting the same voice actor for the animated Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken, to
Mm-hmm.
voice the Agent Spider or whatever and everything like that. But I'm curious more so about Derek and T, how y'all feeling, because I know y'all was very skeptical on this second part. I'm not trying to do this to say that it's like I got you. I'm just genuinely curious how y'all feeling after the second part of the season.
Um,
You want to go first, Terrence?
I'll let you go first because I'm not gonna let him have this.
Okay, I was still skeptical even with the finale. I just thought they wasted Angstrom Levy to build him up that much, and then in the middle of the episode, he's gone, and it was like, dang, I thought he would be a little bit more formidable than that. I mean, even Mark thought the same thing, so I guess it did play into like he's getting a little stronger. He said that he has to train for what's coming. That's why he quit school and things like that. But I thought I'm not gonna say it was lackluster. I just thought it was just missing a little bit more in the finale. Like I get the emotion that Mark was going through about leaving school, about not being able to see his girl and things like that. I just thought they would have played on Ancient Lady being like his main villain just a little bit more than what they did. So that was my like with it. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. But I just wish they had, greenlit them for at least one or two more episodes though.
How about you, T?
I'm half and half with the second part of the season because you give me you give me heat for the first part, and then when we get to the second part, it's just the first two episodes were like they were like ah, and I understand building up to something, but at the same time, it's like if you're gonna you got to give us something on those episodes. Like they could have hinted at Anissa in like a cutscene where she's like over in space looking down on Earth, so we know. Oh snap! Something's about to go down next episode. It was like we were sitting there waiting, and then episode 3, boom, we got to turn up. Then episode
But
4, boom, we got to turn up. And now we're at the point where it's like we gotta wait to 2025 because of what the way they did the last episode. That was pretty cool. Or was it last episode where they was at the Comic-Con? Yeah, it was
it was the second to last episode.
second to last episode when he was talking about, oh, we do the camera this way so that it's less harshness on the animation, all that good stuff. And then yeah, we won't. You probably won't get something till 2025. Like now, we gotta sit here and wait. They could have gave us something in the fall. If they gonna do this 4 episode split, are they gonna give us all 8 now going in 2025? It. My whole thing is the last 2 episodes were great. I give them that. Overall, for the second part, I give it a B minus. It was a hanging C for me for the first 2 episodes, and then it picked up. So I give it a B minus. So overall, they need to do better with the content with them pushing it out. I get it; it's a lot with the animation, but that goes for a lot of these shows today that they're able to put out back to back to back.
I think just to try and kind of combat, because y'all know I'm gonna combat y'all viewpoints on this. We've already had plenty of conversations on this. But just to go against Derek, what you saying in terms of Angstrom Levy, in the comics, I'm pretty sure their first instance or their first battle didn't really last that long. Mark was sent to a couple universes, but Angstrom kept bringing him back and kept bringing him back until eventually Mark got the upper hand on him. And then, spoiler alert, kind of basically almost killed Angstrom. And then he dipped off just like how it did in a show, which I was actually surprised that they used half. They used
Mhm.
half of the episode to actually show that fight, but the importance of that fight, like you knew the weight of it and the decision that or the predicament that they placed Mark in for that whole entire rest of the episode. Plus, on top of that, nigga, the last episode when Anissa pulled up was probably top 5 the best pulling ups of any villains I've seen in quite some time. I'm not
I
gonna
agree.
lie. She pulled up. It was like they had a whole montage of Mark and Amber's love actually being able to have a night to themselves and everything like that, having a straight regular conversation like nothing is going on. Anissa pulled up so quickly, Mark didn't even notice her, and this nigga was mid conversation. Shorty was already behind his shorty, like, nigga, if you don't listen to me right now, your girl getting clapped up. I'm snatching her spine out of her skin, my nigga. Like, oh, they had some bone chilling moments where I feel like as the story progresses, because at this point in time in the story, it's shit hitting the fan, but it's really not shit hitting the fan if you catch my drift. Like
Yeah.
what happened with Omni Man and Mark was just icing on the table, icing on the cake type of thing. What happened with Angstrom Levy is just icing on the cake. But we really, especially in this next series, because I believe the next thing in the comics was the Invincible War, and then right after that, Conquest pulls up. And now they gotta fight that nigga too. So that could be the next season. And now you got a chalk full of straight heat, straight action, straight exactly what y'all asking for. I think just right now, how the story progressed, it was just kind of like a building up phase for what's really gonna happen in the Invincible War. Multiple cities throughout the world get destroyed in a matter of like a day.
No, that's true, and I understand your point about it. I think the only reason I bring up the Angstrom thing is because when the season started, they said he's supposed to be the main villain, and we see him
Yep.
episode 1, the end of like episode 3, and then we see him episode 8, and it was like, damn, like to be the main villain, we've only seen you one time. and it was just like, okay, like who cares? He died. We weren't. Nobody really had like an emotional connection to him. Like, I mean, they did a decent job of like showing Angstrom trying to save Mark, but then showing all the evil versions of Mark that killed Angstrom or killed his son and things like that. But it was like, damn, to say he's the main villain and only have him in two full episodes was like, it is crazy.
I can't understand that though. You would have just wished they would have had more content surrounding him, type of thing.
Mhm.
Or
It
just
would
show
have been.
him like they supposed to show like because I believe in the comic they show him going to different dimensions and having doctors work on him. If they showed that, it'd have been like, okay, like this nigga's coming back for some type of revenge. But it was just like
Yep.
he just showed up in the nigga house and it was like, oh, forgot about this nigga.
I think they gonna save that for later though, because they did bring it up. He did bring it up at some point in time in the conversation with Mark.
I mean, he I mean, because he is gonna be like rebuilt again. I know that. But I guess they, like you said, they probably saved it on animation. Say, like, instead of just doing this, let's just let Angstrom tell what happened to him. So we ain't got to animate all of that. And then moving forward, they might do something, but who knows?
All right, so y'all saying around a B minus
For
overall
the
for
Mm,
second
season
part of the
two,
season,
second
for the
part.
whole season or the second part,
sec-
Basically, might as well do
whole
the whole
season,
season
whole
now.
season of B.
yeah,
B.
I'd give it a B.
Okay.
I can't rate it just because I haven't seen all of it. I will say that like aspects that are not good out of the gate, especially if it's you're watching it like week to week type of thing, is the break in the season. There should have been no reason for a break like that in the season. That's like a whole
Thank you.
different discussion of like distribution, like Terrence was mentioning earlier, distribution of like uh any sort of content in any sort of like format that way. Like it really breaks up the tension of what you're trying to watch. Yeah, it's different when you're like watching it once it's all there. Like say like I watch it and it's like, oh, the rest is there for me, I don't have to worry about that stuff. But like you guys watching it week to week as like it comes out, like that shit's ridiculous. And then, like it kills the tension, and it definitely would bring down like my grade overall if I could give it one, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and my thing is this. I'm just gonna say this. Um, Rob, with Joker explained that he hasn't watched it, but he understands the break in time. As someone that doesn't really watch it, I'm just saying, can you agree? Can you at least agree that they shouldn't have spaced it out that far?
Yeah, most definitely. I
Thank
could
you.
say that
Thank
this
you.
wasn't the smoothest thing. I felt like I was pooping on it prematurely before we even got to watch what happened, and I think they had some very nice scenes to end off that second part of the season. Albeit, was all four of those episodes worth that wait? Probably not. You probably could have did something better with those first two episodes. I'm not gonna lie, those was very slow. Those was very like world building type of episodes. And now we got to this because again, they're trying to do stuff that for the future. This season was all based for the future. We're talking about Invincible right now. J3 PS Ting.
Jeb Sting.
I think Peace Ting, my bad.
Jeb Sting.
Oh, Jep Sting, my bad. My bad. Jep Sting. Weak, damn. That's how you feeling out of 0 and 10. Let me know what your rating is. Let us know what your rating is for Invincible season this in its totality this season too. But I think this was more so for the because man, it's like they got some content in that comics where you would have to be like Sony live action Spider Verse
Mm-hmm.
studio in order to fuck up the stories that's gonna come out of there.
Yep.
You would have to be. Cause the stories that's about to come up is just gonna blow people's minds. Like I thought Jujutsu Kaisen was bad. I thought Berserk was bad. I mean Berserk is bad, but this nigga Mark be getting clapped up
See,
No,
24/7.
and
bro,
that's
that's another problem I have with Invincible. It's like, bro, he has to get stronger, but it's like every time he fights somebody, he gets his ass whooped. His
Mhm.
dad even told him, "You don't fight like a Viltrumite. Like you have to fight to kill." And he still don't even heed to that, like to that advice. And it's like, bro, you getting washed every single fight you got. And I feel more comfortable with Guardians of the Globe over that nigga.
got that right.
He's feeling more like Vegeta than anything at this point.
Mm-mm.
He just every
For
single fight
real.
he's in, getting and that's the thing too, is like it'd be one thing if like Mark decided to like interpret what he's like getting from like his dad and all that stuff to be stronger, but not fully attribute that to like his way of how he is as a hero. But he's not doing that. He's just like pulling his punches every single time. Then there's consequences to those actions of him being that way. So like I don't disagree with that at all. Cause like even like back when like the whole like Mark versus like his dad thing came out, and like he was like, think Mark, think, like there was a lot of truth to that, even though he's like being portrayed as a bad guy, because like that's not cool shit going on. He's not entirely wrong, but
So
like it feels like there's no growth at all for Mark, and for those kind of specific pieces, especially from season 1 to season 2.
so Jeff Singh said he gives the season a 6 out of 10. Mark is a weak protagonist. My man, y'all know in New York we throwing hands. Someone even talked about your mama. It took that man too long to straighten that dude out. You right?
It did, but it's kind of like he is still in his infant stages. Like this nigga gonna be fucking up. He gonna be pulling his punches, thinking that he's gonna be able to take care of these niggas like he's doing Earth's villains that he usually has to face. But over that course of time, he get his ass beat. Yuji in Jujutsu Kaisen, he get his ass beat over and over again, lose someone special to him over and over again until he gets to that point where he's like, enough is enough.
Nah,
I
that's
gotta
different
start
though,
killing
Rob.
niggas.
We seen Yuji like throwing hands in the episode. Every time Mark throw hands, it'd be like for 10 seconds. Then he end
Yep.
up still losing the fight. And it's like, all right,
Yep.
like bro, season 1 Battle Beast, he got that adrenaline rush. He got mad. He started going crazy. Boom. Then Battle Beast split his chest open. I'm like, bro, like you can't have one W under your belt, bro.
Nope.
Hmm.
Not at
Not
all.
and
one.
and then
Not
like
one.
if you're gonna compare it to like Yuji too, where he takes all those losses, like it's depressing to see that shit go down with him and like the people that he knows and he loves. At least like you see him kind of grow from that like a lot. um and Mark, you don't really see that. And then like how long is like too long for something like that, where you're just like, yeah, he keep like let him build, taking all these L's and stuff, but then you as the watcher, you're just like, this guy just fucking sucks. Like, why am I gonna watch someone who just gets their ass beat all the time? Like, this shit ain't fun. This ain't amusing. So I'm like, I'm just gonna just check out. And then maybe, oh, season 3 comes out later. I'm not interested because it's probably the same shit anyway. You know?
True.
One thing, Rob, I would say in this season, that fight with Anissa, I understand he wouldn't have won. But after she was about to squeeze the chalupa juice out of Amber's head, he could have been like, all right, no, enough is enough. Like, you just tried to kill my shorty. Like,
he
I'm gonna have to
couldn't
try to
do
break your neck.
nothing.
Anissa's fight with Alan was more entertaining than her fight with Mark.
And this is thousands of years old. The older you are, the stronger you are as a Viltrumite. That nigga just got his powers like not even a whole year ago.
I'm just saying.
A half a year ago.
But this man get
Yeah.
packed up every time he fights somebody.
It's always a Viltrumite. Oh, for the most
No,
part.
it's not.
except
It's
for
not
Battle
always
Beast.
a Viltrumite.
Except for Battle
Bruh, he
Beast.
lost to Dr. Seismic. Come on, nigga. First episode of season 2, he lost to a nigga.
He did
with
get packed up with
shockwave
all the
powers.
multiverse twins too. He was getting jumped by them niggas though.
Bruh,
Cuz.
I'm like, bro, you have super speed and you can fly. If you choose to just stay on the ground and fight some blue niggas, like, bruh, I'd have had the niggas up in the sky. Stop playing with me.
My man's got a mental nerf. He got a lot going on. He just got packed up in front of the world to see by his own pops.
That
Then his
don't mean
pops left
squat,
him.
son. You would think you would learn from your lesson.
That'll be squat. Damn.
Nah, bro. After I almost get killed by my dad, anytime I get into a fight, somebody dying. I'm not gonna do that.
Somebody died.
Then I gotta get revenge somehow, some way.
My man said, I gotta get my get back.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. So it seems like it was not mid, but just probably like a touch, a stone's throw away from mid from what we're getting. Of course, Luna wants
Yes.
to grow. Okay. So I still take that. I think it was a cool like 8.59. It just got me more excited for what's to come. I just know they're gonna take it a notch further, and it's gonna blow people away, I believe. All right, so we can talk about either Ninja Cowboy or Mashley. I don't know if y'all finished either one of them. Let me know.
I finished all of them.
I mean, I can go ahead. I'm gonna talk about. I can't talk about Mashley, but
You
I
ain't
can't
finished
talk
Mashley?
about Camel. I won't lie to you. I can't talk about that.
Can you talk about Mashley though?
I can talk about Mashle though.
All right,
Hundred
y'all go
percent.
ahead. Let's talk about Mashley.
all
Okay,
right.
so that's gonna win opening of the year hands down. Doesn't matter what else comes out.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen about it, social media, people talking, like, yo, you heard this opening? I literally the first time I ever saw the opening or like heard it, it was used as a meme. Like
Mm-hmm.
first thing I was like, oh, this is like a funny ass song, and then like it was quote tweeting or like retweeting the original post. And in it, I was like, "What's the original post?" I tap on it. It's the fucking Mashle opening. I laughed my ass off. It's like there's no
Yep.
fucking way this is like the actual song, and it is, and it's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Like obsessed. It's so good. So much personality in the music. It kind of felt like a mix of like, and this could be me thinking it, like kind of like Spanish and Japanese like mixed in there, like kind of like Caribbean maybe. I don't know, like something more like differently diverse ethnically in the song that I think really contributes to it well. And it's super fucking catchy. Like I can't get enough of it.
I'm just saying that's my new ringtone right now.
Is it?
Man, get me going. Like honestly, this season, like I came into Mash when it was at the beginning of season when season 2 was just about to come out. Season 1 had me in tears. In tears. You literally see the animals running away, and this man sitting there just like, going bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Bananas, or like with the weights. And then before you know it, it's like, when you see it's him, you're like, what is going on? And the fact that it's like he's a mixture of One Punch Man mixed with, it was somebody else. Like, yeah, mixed with Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
And to have that combination work from start to finish makes it so perfect. And every time he defeats somebody, it's in some crazy way. And the cream puffs, the fact that this man always keeps a cream puff on him, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. I gotta replenish some calories. So honestly, I'm gonna say this: season 1, 10 of 10. Season 2, 10 of 10. With that Innocent Zero, we're getting the build up for what's to come for season 3. Me, I want to read all the manga for it from this point, which I probably will, to catch up to where it's at. But yeah, Mashle got me hooked. That 10 of 10. 10 of 10.
Is it Mashle or Mashley?
Mashle.
Mashle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow,
Mashley.
that's awkward. All right then. How y'all feeling about it? Or musical Joker? My bad.
No, you're good. Honestly, I also think this is like a very strong season for like the past season for anime. One of the strongest contenders of that season. Um, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was honestly better than season 1. Just because it was a bit more action packed than before. Nothing wrong with any sort of build up or just giving context for the world. I like stuff going on. I like the collaboration with him and like his friends. And it was kind of like a mini tournament arc, and I'm a big tournament arc person, like Yu Yu Hakusho for instance, like that shit is goated. But it gave you a little taste of that, and it was great. And then giving other people like a chance to kind of like be in the spotlight, which is always nice. And then like Terrence said, it's building up to the big bad, giving more context to like what is the reason why someone is doing what they're doing, and it's kind of like, okay, I understand their motive. Like, do I agree with it? Do I disagree with it, or like anything else like that? Which is just he wants to be the perfect being. As to why though, like, is it just because he wants to be that? Is there like because he killed somebody in the future? I don't know, and maybe we'll get that context later, which would be a bit nicer. Um, but it was just always amusing to like have a situation where Mash would be in. You're like, oh, you need magic, and he's like, no, I don't. I'm gonna just kick in the air just with my legs as like the big grandmaster of magic, and like the evil villain is just up in the air fighting, and he just goes over, kicks or punches the guy in the face, and is just in the air with his legs. It's crazy. So like again, I think it's a really strong anime, especially so far. I just hope that it continues to be that way, because the only thing I'm concerned about is if they continued these same kind of tropes. Like where would that line be crossed where it becomes like stale and like boring to watch? That but that's why I really appreciate like the creative aspects of what they decide to do with Mashal in those weird instances, you know. But
Have you
yeah, no,
watched?
I love it.
Have you read the manga for it or no?
So I have a rule. So we have a rule in this house. My girlfriend and I, whenever we watch something and like I recommend something to her and we watch it together. If she's hooked into it and we start watching it together, I can't read it if I haven't started reading it already.
Damn.
So it was on my radar too. I was like thinking of reading it, you know, because I saw it on like the Shonen Jump manga app. I was like, you know, I think I might read it. I didn't, and then we started watching it. She loved it because loves One Punch Man. It's one of her favorites, and because of that, I can't read it. I can read up to where it's at right now, but anything past that can't. That's why I'm like, thank God, because I got her into One Piece and she loves My Hero, but I started reading those way before we were together, so those are fair game. So unfortunately not, but to kind of contribute to that conversation, yeah, if something gets me that hyped where I'm like, I'm loving this, I want more of it. I can't wait for like God knows how long, especially if there's not like a release date for the next part of like the anime. I'm gonna read it.
I
Then
feel
that
you on
becomes
that.
a weekly thing for me.
I feel you on that. You know what? This season low key reminded me of the Naruto when Orochimaru pulled up to the Hidden Leaf
Mm-hmm.
during the tuning exams. For whatever reason, when I was talking about it, UNT was talking about it. It reminded me specifically of that this mysterious figure where I think Orochimaru, you didn't necessarily know too much about him at that point in time. Like it kind of caught us off guard when he pulled up to the Hidden Leaf during the tuning exams, let guard free, and then was doing all his weirdo shit. This nigga was a weird nigga too that they
Yeah,
was just facing and everything like that. But he's still like,
the thing is too is I honestly mentioned that whole reference too. I was like, yo, these two like the big you know the principal of the school and then the evil villain. It just literally felt like it was the third Hokage versus
mhm,
Orochimaru. That whole fight,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it felt like. I was like, shit, especially when there was like a demon thing or whatever that came out of like one of the guys. I was like, yeah, this is literally just fucking Naruto right now. Just probably better because I never really cared for that fight. um, but yeah, no, that literally that comparison is perfect.
I'm I don't know the specific genre of this because I don't think this is a typical battle shonen. I don't think it's under those confines per
I
se.
I wouldn't really call it that honestly.
Yeah,
Like it feels more comedic, like definitely that.
yeah.
Um, like I guess battle shonen is like one way to say it, but I wouldn't really call it that because when you say that, I think more of like Bleach or like
Hmm. Hmm.
um what's it called with like Asta, like I can't Black Clover. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Black Clover, My Hero, those kind of things. Because there's like the tension it's building up to it, but it feels like they kind of build tension to just do one big gag or joke because like Mash was super strong or One Punch Man is super strong,
Hmm.
beats the shit out of that one person, and then that's it. Like there's like no there's it's always like 0 to 100. It's never like a gradual increase. Unless you look at like the end of season one of One Punch Man, where it's like, oh my god, someone who can actually like hold up a fight like a little bit and then he still got demolished after that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, it's hard to kind of like place it.
I because it kind of reminds me of like the One Punch Man, like I was bringing up earlier, but not as battle centric either. At that same time, like it's very comedic for the most part, and it's more so like a slow burn type of anime.
Hmm.
I like the pacing and the switch up that it has though. Like you still get the pacing, especially the thought process of the animation for the battles this time around. Even though it's still not up to other battles that we're accustomed to seeing in other animes or anything like that, they were still unique with that joint. When the nigga fucking choked the man's out, and they had a whole scene before showing what he thought he was actually doing. Like
Hmm.
I'm like, nah, this is fire, and especially the part where the old head of the school and the evil villain was facing each other. Just seeing their magic on display, it
Hmm.
really put things into perspective, especially when the evil villain started using the main guy's magic.
Mm-hmm.
and use it against him, took a whole chunk out of the whole entire cliff. I'm like, oh no, they really boxing, like Harry Potter style up in this joint, Chronicles of Narnia type. I was like, all right, this is a pleasant surprise. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say it was a cool 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
I
say it's a
agree.
cool 9.
Cool 9. What? Okay. What's the thing that takes it away from giving it a 10?
Um,
Nothing's ever perfect, man. Nothing is ever
yeah,
perfect.
Well, to him,
yeah.
nothing's ever perfect.
I'd say the same thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still getting used to it. In the same breath where I was just praising that style, I'm more so used to the boxing, straight up boxing, story getting thrown into it, or then they have elaborate plots of story and then but it's straight to boxing. I love those anime. I don't know what it is. Or the berserk type of animes where it's still boxing, but it's like tragic hero type shit. Like man's going through all sorts of things. Those are the ones I gravitate to the most. So the kind of I'm still getting used to Asians' sense of comedic relief within their media platforms. It's not something that I'm accustomed to. I'm not gonna lie and sit here
I'm just
like all right,
saying you
okay.
need to watch Konosuba.
You keep saying this, but the last time you recommended me an anime, it was the worst thing I watched in my whole
Well,
entire
we're not
life.
going. We're not.
What did he
No,
recommend?
no,
I
no, no,
need to
no,
know.
no, no.
No.
We're off
Guess.
air, off air. I will
Guess.
let you know. Off
Nah, it's not
air,
all fair.
off
Guess.
air. I
I
will.
need to know now. Too
Guess.
bad.
Not,
It's a
not.
terrible anime. Nah, musical Joker, guess. Out of all the ones that Tika recommended me.
And Joker, you know me. So what would I recommend?
Mhm. Is it like recent or is it like kind of old?
He
Recent.
said the worst anime I've ever seen.
I can't think of anything because I'm like there's like a bunch of like shitty anime that's come out,
Okay,
especially this
okay.
past
I'll
year.
give you like a beating around the bush type of synopsis.
Okay.
Homeboy has the ability to heal
Oh,
or
I
to level
fucking
up.
knew it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Was it
Yeah,
Redo Healer?
you don't have to say the name.
Yeah, redo healer.
I knew
Mm-hmm.
that's the first thing that popped in my head. But I was like, there's no way Terrence would recommend that as an anime. No, I'm
But
sorry.
there's
I
a
was
reason
wrong.
why I did it because I know how he is.
He said Jepstick said Konosuba is great. Harem. Boy, I don't like I promise you, I hate them type of anime, dog. I hate it, bro. I hate it with a
But it's
passion.
not that like Konosuba is a different level of comedy. It's not no redo of Healer because that's just extreme.
So I will back up Terrence here, and I love Konosuba, and I'm very excited for season 3. I think is coming out later this month. Konosuba is like a very comedic, very self-aware anime that openly makes fun of
Mm-hmm.
itself and other types of anime tropes. It's like not like super, I wouldn't say like super self-aware like Gintama, if you ever watched that, where it openly makes fun of like other anime series where like a person will walk in and they're just dressed like Goku from Dragon Ball and making like stupid jokes about it. Is not to that type of level, but like they're very openly aware of like, yo, I'm like a person living in an isekai right now. I should be like a hero, you know? And he's like bottom of the fucking barrel, literally just doing chores and living in a hay, like some sort of ben for like horses and shit, living on hay, that type of crap, you know. And he hates his life, he hates the fucking situation that he's in, and it's funny. And also the useless characters that he tags along with, like one person like is a wizard. They only use one spell, and that's explosion, and after they use it they basically pass out. They are
Yeah.
useless outside of that.
Hold
So it's
up,
like
hold
they
up,
don't
hold
do
up.
much.
Don't. Megami is straight heat. She's straight fire.
She literally
Literally.
passes out after one spell, and she
Oh my
openly
goodness.
refuses to learn anything else. So like those aspects are very funny, and I'll give it to T for that.
Them
But
Crimson
outside of
Dragons.
that, don't listen to him. Bad take.
What?
So it's not redo of healer. It's not redo of
No,
healer level.
no, no, no,
No.
no. It's like it has like etchy stuff in it where it's like, you know, girls and that type of shit, but it's nothing like that. Not to that level.
All
That's
right,
bananas.
I'm a trust you and Jep Sting on this. He says, Sage, I usually make my mind up about animes based on first episode. First episode is great. All right, as long as it's not on the redo of Healer, I expected that it was on the same level of redo
It's
of Healer.
not. Why
No.
don't you?
I would never. I almost, man. Berserk made me
Wait, wait,
uneasy,
wait, wait,
but
wait, wait, wait,
redo of
wait, wait.
Healer
Hold up, hold
made me
up.
want to leave the room.
Nah, man. You can handle
Redo of Healer,
Berserk,
man.
but you couldn't handle redo of Healer. Come on.
I said Berserk made me queasy, made me
Yeah, but you
uneasy. But
redo it.
redo of
Hold
Healer,
up.
I needed to take a shower after
Nah,
that shit, nigga. I felt like I
nah.
sinned by watching this.
There's
I
no
was
way,
like, what
bro,
is
that
going
you're
on?
trying to compare Berserk to Redo of Healer because, like, I get it. Like, Berserk is dark. Like,
That's what I'm
dark
saying.
but but the thing is, Berserk has ungodly storytelling.
No,
Like,
no,
it
no.
is
It's
completely
great
100%.
storytelling. I'm not saying that. I mean
What
the
is
thing.
what is
I'm just saying the things that happen in Berserk compared to redo of Healer. Come on.
Nah,
the thing is,
boy.
like, you got good story and like that, like you got to kind of balance it out because that's like a dark fantasy. What does Redo of Healer got? It's all it has is just that darkness. There's no good storytelling. There's no compelling characters, like someone that you actively care about and want to go through it. Like Guts, like you care about Guts and you're like, damn, like he's going through that shit. That's fucking crazy. But then you see like, yo, I'm gonna change my name to a slightly different version of my name so I could just continue to do the things that I'm doing because I'm butthurt. Like, okay,
Literally.
that's it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like homeboy took a lot. So no pun intended.
What Jeff Singh is saying is literally correct. Like, that is exactly what that is.
Yeah, I don't. And the like the superb horniness too.
Mhm.
Like if every anime lady protagonist that's in the episode always got her boobs out or always got the little skirt or the clothes is always falling off all the time type of shit, she's always clumsy. I really fucking hate that
Hold
stereotype
on.
of that
Hold
trope.
on.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
god, I
Hey,
despise it.
hold on. So Joker, he may not like Konosuba. He may not like darkness. That's all I gotta say. He may not like darkness.
I feel like it's, but the thing is though, you say that, but you're acting like darkness is like the big part of the show.
It's
when
not. But I'm just saying. I feel like he's not gonna like her character. That's the only thing I'm
you
saying.
probably you probably won't. Like, but that's like one piece of it that doesn't make up the whole anime. Because like besides darkness, you have Megumi, wizard who uses one spell, passes out after. Stupid. You have a goddess who complains to bitches a lot, and for drinks, like she's an alcoholic, and she's
And then,
useless as a
and then you
goddess.
got the main character that steals pennies.
The main character that amongst other things he does that, but then it also is just like, I hate my life, I'm also a neat and useless.
I'm
Like,
just saying.
fully aware of that.
The
Still.
protagonist has a priest hunting his booty. That's from Konosuba.
The protagonist basically was like given a choice, like you could take any one of these things by that goddess, and then he was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you because she's a goddess, she has like special powers and shit, and one of her powers is like to fucking make water just spout like from like as if it was a fountain. Like, she's straight up useless, like,
See,
no joke.
one thing I really like about Konosuba with the main character is the fact that he calls everything for what it is, and the fact that he's like, yo, yeah, I was feeling you, but goddess chick, I tried to feel you multiple times, but I'm not feeling you at all. You don't do nothing for me. When for him to break that down and tell her that, she was hurt, and I was okay with that because she was annoying. The whole calling him a straight up stay at home neat the whole time.
The thing is, she's not wrong. That's
Of course she's
literally
not wrong.
that's how he is. But again, that's like part of the charm about it, and like why you would be interested, because you could understand like the prospects of like, wow, isekais are stupid because they all do the same shit, and he openly mocks it. Or the fact that he himself is in with it, like that specific trope of like personality where he's like a neat loser, goes into a new world and expects more for himself, and he's exactly the same or even worse in a state of what he was before he left. And like, again, since it's an isekai, he had to die to go over to like this new world. The way that he went out is absolutely stupid, but it's so funny. I don't want to talk about it too much, but like there's more to it where I'm like, you should never ever cast Konosuba in the same light as like Redo a Healer or like any of those like shitty anime. And Berserk on its own is like, it's dark, it has amazing storytelling, and it's like, it's beloved for a reason, and why people were upset that the manga passed away unfortunately a few years ago even though it has those terrible things in it. It's dark, but
So
it's still good.
Jet made a good point. He said y'all should each recommend an anime to each other as homework to discuss next time.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
I'm
not
down to do
bad.
that.
I'm with it.
I don't like homework like that, but I do it though.
I'm just saying, like, I
Terrence, you gotta recommend something wild.
Damn. Not
He's
again.
not.
I
He's
watched the
not.
Konosuba. Konosuba.
Yeah, watch
I'm not watching
Konosuba.
the
Watch
no
Konosuba.
no
That's
no
my
no no no
recommendation.
no.
You watch
You
Konosuba.
wanna I'm gonna say this last thing and then we gonna move on. You wanna know the crazy thing? When he recommended me that joint,
What?
he was like, "You watched the first episode, right?" I was like, "Yeah, bro. Why the fuck would you recommend me that shit?" He was like, "Good. Watch the second one now, and then just leave it alone." I'm like, "No, we're not about to stack this up again. No, absolutely not." He's like, "You gotta watch the second episode. You gotta see what happened." I'm like, "No,
I don't know.
nah,
Like,
bro."
it wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. Like, yes, the story is crap, but at the same time, it was like I got to see this through because it was like I. I don't know. It was just like all that stuff was done to him. I wanted to see him get his revenge. That's literally at the end of the day what I wanted to see.
The story ain't crap. I'm not gonna say that, but golly, dog,
He
they
is,
showed a little bit
bruh.
too much for comfort.
And it's
Berserk, you see it one time. That's done the guts, I believe, when he was growing up, and that was it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, they was going into montages of what they was doing to this man. Montages.
and I'm
And
glad
then
he got
hold
his
up, hold up,
revenge.
hold up, hold up, hold up. Spoiler alert if you've never watched this joint.
Do we
If
really
I'm not
gotta go? Can we
mistaken, if
not
I
go further into this, sir?
no
There's
no
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 need.
if I'm
No, 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 no,
hold up,
no.
hold up. I'm just real quick.
Is wait,
If I'm
hold on.
not
Can I say this?
mistaken,
Hold on. Can I say this real quick before you start?
go ahead.
Is this leading to anything in the light of very
No 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 no
X-rated?
no 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 not at
Okay,
all.
okay.
I'm just going in this premise. This man's went through all of that shit. Spoiler alert, gained the power to I can't remember what the hell it was, to be honest with you, because I was just so dumbfounded at what the fuck just transpired after that. This man's voted to go back in time, go through all of that shit with the knowledge that he has now. And it just it worked out in his favor, but my nigga, what? You're voting for that again? That
Hold
life
on. But what
again?
killed me? My man went back. He's like, "Oh, if I take this poison for so long, then I'll become immune to it." Bro, how long he had to go back through that just to become immune to that? That's the one part that really messed me up. You gonna put yourself through that just to become immune? Nah, there should be another way. There should be another way.
This nigga, boy, I'll tell you, I had nightmares of that shit after I watched it, boy.
Terrence, but the
Man,
fact
oh
that you
man.
recommended that as something to watch is crazy.
Okay,
We can leave it at
there's
that.
a
That's just
reason.
crazy.
There's a reason because when he tells me, "Oh, I don't like animes where people are very overly sexualized," because I recommended Shohugeki Food Wars. He didn't like that.
Okay.
He didn't like that at all. So
I
I
can't-
was like, you know
I
what?
can't blame him for that because the first episode, in my opinion, is the worst one. Because like, listen, my girlfriend was the same exact way. She does not like shit like that. That's not her thing. She finds it like tasteless, that kind of stuff. I got her to watch the entirety of Food Wars, and because I told her, I was like, listen, the first one is, in my opinion, the worst one because of what they do with like the squid tentacles to like one person. Right? Outside of that, it gets there's like like over sexualization, but it's never that bad. Like focus on the food, the way that they create it, all these different recipes, like the kind of action they build up, like as if it was a battle, like anime, but with food. Like that's the best part about it, and that's what you should enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, that's fine. At least give it a chance, give it more than one episode. And she did, and she was like, I love Food Wars. You were right, that was like the one thing that I really didn't like about it, but nothing ever got close to how bad that was. And all the food stuff, like I even made some of the food from the show, and they're delicious. It's awesome too, and it exposes you to those different types of things as well. So like there's a lot to love about it. But I can understand you give it a shot and you're like, this isn't for me, because it's at that point Food Wars can balance on like, is this tasteful or is this tasteless? Does it really contribute to like the whole food making thing? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. It's kind of having that conversation, thinking like, is this even worth doing? Then if not, then no big deal, But I could understand that more than Redo of Healer. So like that's it.
Just shut me down with a quickness.
All right,
Yeah.
Konosuba and Food Wars. I gotta tap into those. All right. So this was a hot topic I want to say in our group chat as well this past week. Um, this Fantastic Four. We got more Fantastic Four news. We know who is playing Silver Surfer in this new Fantastic Four movie. And it is a lady, and it is the lady from Ozarks and from some other mediums as well, from shows I believe and a movie if I'm not mistaken. Julia Garner is her name. I thought she was a good. I haven't. Damn, I thought she did a good job. I haven't even finished Ozarks, but the
Thank
bits and
you.
pieces that I've been able to see, she was like a phenomenal actress in that joint. And from what they're trying to do, I feel like they're doing good, and they're saving this for the real Silver Surfer Norrin Rad to come in later on down the line after the Secret Wars. But now they can use, since it's the multiverse, why not dibble and dabble in some characters that was seen in different offshoots of comics that might not necessarily have done well in the comics, but hey, if we flip this shit correctly, we might got a hit on our hands, type of thing.
Rob, you
So
haven't
Yeah.
finished Ozark, and you was trying to clown Terrence because you thought he didn't finish Ozark.
I thought he didn't watch Ozarks.
I was about to say.
I've watched Ozarks enough to see her in some key pivotal acting scenes
It's
where I
just
was
that,
like, I like her.
like, my thing is, yeah, she's a cool actress. It is what it is. But at the same time, it's like they could have chose somebody else.
Why though? Let me ask you that.
Did y'all see what's his name was supposed to be up for the role? That nigga name
Lakeith
from
Stanfield.
yeah. I don't know why I always draw a blank on his name.
I think
I'm kind of glad they didn't go with him. I can't
I
see
think
him being Silver Surfer.
I feel like he has that weird personality and aura that would do
He
Silver.
definitely
It would go right
he
along
definitely
with
weird
Silver
enough for
Surfer.
Silver Surfer. I can see him.
Yeah,
He
he
wouldn't
might
be
be.
like goofy with it, but he definitely has that weird shit going on for
He might become the main MCU Silver Surfer down the line. Maybe that's why they
him.
auditioned for him at that point in time. I
They should
I
use the
could.
nigga from the Fox movie that they used. He was perfect as Silver Surfer back in
Oh yeah,
'05.
yeah. I wonder how old he is at this point in time. I can't
True,
remember.
true,
Shit,
true.
he gonna be Silver. Shit.
He's like, what the fuck does that matter? But now, Joker, you brought up a valid question to T. You said, why does that matter that they didn't that they
Wow.
casted her?
Yeah, so like let me just give a bit of context here. Is because I haven't seen like Ozark. I haven't seen like any of the other shows that she's been in. I did look her up though, and I also heard her in certain clips of Ozark that were like posted on Twitter when her announcement was first made. And from the clips that I've seen of her just like being using different accents in one for Ozark, and then compared to like a different show, I think it's called Inventing Anna. Like that's amazing. Her acting is great. She sounds like phenomenal. She has that kind of projection, that kind of like character to put herself in something where it's like she needs to be loud and aggressive, and then it's like bringing it back down where she's like cool and like communicating and like very like emotional. So I'm like, I feel like that would, you know, a great actress from what the seems of it, for what I have or for exposure with her. Um, and I don't know too much about the comics with like the female version of the Silver Surfer and what they did with her. I don't
Hmm.
know like in what importance in those kind of contexts, but it seems like to me because of her being a great actress, she could do well in this role. Um, depending on if Marvel and like Disney make good scripts, because that's my whole big thing now is like I used to be a big Marvel fan. I don't really like Marvel that much anymore for like the MCU because they've been like shitting on most of the projects they've been putting out. Like nothing has been good that they've been putting out. So like, she could be a fantastic, actress, but they could give her a shitty script and she
Mm-hmm.
would have to put up with it. So like
Hmm.
in that part, like I get 100%. But with like Terrence was like, why cast her? Why would they not? Like what who do you have in mind that would play a better female actresses of a Silver Surfer, and like why? Or why do you not think that she would be like good enough to be in that role?
I think it's more of it's not saying I don't think she would be good in that role. It's just more of it would be like I would rather see somebody else in that role. I have to take a look again at the people that were on the docket that they had, but at the same time it's like I don't know. It's just I can't see her playing Silver Surfer. I can't picture her playing Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
I, it's just
I just
one of
want
those
to
things.
chime.
Go ahead, D.
My bad. I'm just going to chime in real quick because the person that played Silver Surfer last time was Doug Jones, but he was just mocap because he was voiced. Silver Surfer was voiced by Lawrence Fishburne, and I'm just now realizing that. And I was like, oh, I thought that was Doug Jones speaking, but it wasn't him. But with her, it's like because you got to realize Doug Jones is 6'4", so he's got that intimidation factor of someone on a surfboard from an alien planet coming to Earth. When it's like with Julia Garner being 5'5", yeah, she can act, but you have people like Anna Taylor Joy, who's a little bit taller, who has the mystique, like the look for a Silver Surfer. But I mean, I guess we'll just have to see what direction they're going with, though.
And
I
that I could respect, honestly, is like because
Mhm.
I could see her being like, you know, that sloth, like tall, slender, like, you know, put her in like a Silver Surfer type outfit, whatever. I could see that. Like you said, it depends on what they decide to put her in, which is in itself exciting to find out. Because like, yeah, we found out the casting, and most people when they see her, they probably are thinking her look in Ozark, where they're like, that doesn't fit her at all. We'll have to wait and see. And like again, that's something to look forward to, especially since the whole Fantastic Four thing is it a different direction where it's like, yo, this is like old. Like this is back in like the 1960s or whatever when they first charted where like what was it? Doctor Strange mentioned that in his second movie or whatever when he first saw Doctor you know Mr. Fantastic. So, you know, depends on what they do and I'm excited to see that. I just hope it actually does well. But
shout out to that Kasho guy. Real quick, he said, "Hey, John, my at
yo,
boy,
My
my fucking son,
boy.
my boy, yeah,
my
my
bad.
fucking son, yes sir." Um, I think I'd pose the question to y'all where I don't think that they necessarily casted her for her stature because generally, like, I think what's his face? There's a lot of MCU actors that were shorter than we envisioned, if I'm not mistaken. One of the episodes or one of the times after the episodes, I believe we were looking up the heights and everything of everybody. And some of those dudes was pretty like average size for the most part. So I think it's never been more so about her stature, but it's the power in which she commands when she acts.
Hmm.
And I think that goes simultaneously with how they can portray her Silver Surfer character. And Joker, to give you more backstory, I think they're taking this from the Earth X comics when in that storyline, Galactus got killed somehow. I can't remember who killed him or something. And then another person notified Franklin Richards, "Hey, you have to become Galactus now." And he ended up talking to Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer, if I'm not mistaken, and giving both him and his lady the Silver Surfer power so that they could stay together forever, type of thing, quote
Oh, I
unquote.
see. Okay. So she's
So
like working as a pair in that point.
basically, yeah, she was a herald, one of the heralds of Galactus at that point in time, who
Okay.
was Franklin Richards.
So that's
So
interesting. I just now with that, like, what do you think that they would do something along those lines with her character in the MCU or something a bit more different?
I think they're gonna switch it up because I think that this version of Galactus and this version of Silver Surfer, I don't think we're gonna see them again.
Okay.
So I think they have free money to do whatever they wish and really increase the odds. Because I believe from one of the leaks, again, this is just a leak, but they were saying that in between the movie, will actually see an incursion or be informed about an incursion that happens on the parallel universes theirs. And then the reason that they end up leaving their universe by the end of this movie is due to an incursion happening there, as well as Galactus and his herald coming there and running amok, type of thing. So I think they have free reign in whatever they want to take this story. On the off chance they might be able to join the Fantastic Four into the new reality, but I don't think so because then you would have a problem with the Galactus of that universe facing off with this Galactus. Unless you got the Galactus who's against all the Celestials, which I think was a part of one of the storylines or something like that. I don't necessarily know where they're gonna go. They got a lot of options, they got a lot of ways, but they keeping it new and they're keeping it something that we've never seen before to get us hyped up to actually see that moment when Norn Rad pulls up. That original Silver Surfer type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested what they're gonna do. I think now that Kevin Feige has a lot more hold, a grip on the content that's coming out now, I think he'll do us justice.
I
I
hope
think he'll do
so,
us justice.
because like you said, like I know they're like stopping to like putting out as much content as they are, that they're trying to do it more slowly now, which is good because after they just started to push out content, that's where you saw like the big decline of like Marvel content as a whole. So hopefully it's good. Like I'll go out and watch it. Probably not like first thing because I don't really do that anymore with like Marvel movies because of the latest stuff that they put out. But hopefully it's good. Like that's what I want. I'm not here to be a hater about it. I just it sucks of how they've been. I just want
Hmm.
it to be good.
Most definitely. They haven't picked on Galactus actor either or voice actor
Mm,
either. So it's not what is it?
Antonio
Antonio
Banderas.
Banderas.
If there is.
Puss in Boots is not him from the
But no, I
Fabuloso
would.
Four.
I saw an article on comicbookmovie.com that said that the Fantastic Four will be set in like a retro futuristic universe. So
Hmm.
we don't really know if it's going to be like in the 60s or maybe like in our present time, but kind of like how the Jetsons is, like everything is like retro
mm,
futuristic. But there is reports that Sue Storm is supposedly having Franklin in space, like on one of their missions, which doesn't
Hmm.
make sense. Why would you go to space pregnant? But yeah, so he's supposed, I guess, it like time jumps. Like it shows him born in space, and then he's like a teenager or an adult at some point in the movie. I
mm,
don't know. It seems like a lot going on there.
yeah.
His power technically is set up where he can come off as any age at that point in time once he has a full command of it. So it could be, or he could be coming back in time type of thing.
But I think if they bring in Franklin Richards, they should really like build him gradually. Like you have a reality warper of that magnitude, like how they did in the comics. Like remember, I don't remember exactly what comic it was, but they found out he had powers when Norman Osborn came to the Baxter Building, and Franklin was dressed as a cowboy. And he had a toy gun, and then he pointed it at Norman Osborn, and then he was like, "Bang!" And then he actually pulled the trigger, actually shot Norman because he like worked it into an actual weapon. And then it showed like at the end of the comic, like him creating a small galaxy in his bedroom or something like that. But it's like just gradually build up to like, oh shit, like this kid does more than we were expecting. I don't think they should just have it be a reality warper like right up the womb type shit. Like he got to grow into something at least.
I think he'll be a pivotal play in Secret Wars, just like he was in Jonathan Hickman's. He was the main catalyst to help rewarp the entire multiverse. Him
Is
and
Secret Wars the first
his
Avengers
name.
movie that we're gonna get pretty soon, or is that the second one?
That's the second one. So I don't know if you tapped into our recent podcast, but we talked about they might be going into the Avengers versus X-Men route
Mm-hmm.
for the first Avengers movie now instead of Kang Dynasty to show to kind of give off like a send off for all of the other X-Men characters that might not show up from the Fox universe in the Secret Wars movie. So they was thinking about doing that, and I don't know if you're too familiar with the Jonathan Hickmans, but the Time Runs Out story, I believe that was the MCU universe versus the Ultimates universe. Um,
Oh.
at the end of that, that's when both of the worlds collided, and they ended up getting transported to Battle World at that point in time by Doctor Doom. But I think that's what they're gonna do. But instead of the Ultimates universe, just using an X-Men based universe, have a lot of those older characters that we've seen come back, type of thing. Give them their final send offs, kind of like a Iceman. I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Maybe I could see that happening. So like the what I think of now is the whole discussion of like the whole 616 universe, like the MCU is that, but it in reality it isn't. Um it's its own separate universe. It's not at all in in any sort of way 616 because that's its own like the original comics universe.
Mhm.
And I feel like if because Kevin Feige is like super insistent on this being 616, while the actress that plays Miss Marvel, she's like, nah, this is like its own universe. This is like I can't remember the universe name, but it's like 1119 or something like that. And they've been having discourse back and forth about it, and she's like openly mentioned this before. If they do decide to do like some sort of incursion where then like the worlds like collide and that type of shit, where then it's like that type of universe, that would make more sense. Do I think that's gonna happen? No, because I feel like Kevin Feige is very stubborn about that stuff and is not willing to budge on it at all, whether he's right or wrong. Because again, I don't really agree with his statement on it being 616, but I could see that happening where it's like, oh, this universe is 616 formally, but not really. Now it's the universe that people have been saying it has been for a long time. Uh, but again, we'll see. I don't know what they plan to do with that type of shit.
I'm interested. Has X-Men 97 ended or is this still going on?
Still going on.
Still going on, I think.
I gotta tap into that. All right, I think we can end it off with one more. Let me use this first one. All right, I think T, you came up with this. You wanna say it or you want me to bring it up?
Which topic are we heading on? So I know.
It was the when the season ends for an anime.
Okay, yeah. Has there been like any anime that you've watched where it let's say it ends it off on a high note and you're hungry for more? You know that the manga's got maybe 100, 200 issues ahead or chapters ahead, and it's like I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Has there been any anime in your lifetime that had you say, I'm gonna go read the manga and finish it off, or even catch up to where they are, and I'll still go back and watch the animation for it when the next season drops.
So I
Rob, you can
mentioned this.
go ahead,
Oh,
Joker.
sorry.
Go ahead,
I
Joker.
mentioned this last time too when I was here on the podcast. Blue Lock. Blue Lock was the big one that I at least recent memory now where I'm like I watched something and then I decided to read it after.
Mm-hmm.
I love Blue Lock too much where I was like I have to keep reading this because it's just full on heat. How do you expect me to stop right here? Um, Knowing full well that we haven't gotten like confirmation for another season. We only got confirmation that there's going to be a movie for like a minor character that's getting like his own like side story adapted. And I'm just like I gotta keep reading Blue Lock to see what's going on, and I'm like super far ahead in it. I'm basically almost current, but it's just Blue Lock was too good for me to just not keep going. Like I had to keep going because I enjoyed it so much. And also I was gonna say Chainsaw Man, but I did start reading that before it got adapted. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's like a bunch of other ones that if I took the time to remember, I would definitely say because like there are some animes that like come off of a high that you can't find yourself coming off of without wanting to get more of, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
My for me, Demon Slayer. After I forgot which arc. It wasn't the Swordsmith arc, but I regret doing that because I've always heard everyone said, "Oh, the ending is so mid, it's so carried by its animation." Because as soon as I got to the end, that's how I felt. Like Demon Slayer is good. It's a good show, but the way it ended was just so rushed. So it was like they was trying to just like give us a cookie cutter ending while trying to give us some heat, and it just didn't land correctly. So when people say it's carried by its animation, I can agree with it because I know where the story is going and how mid the ending is. And it's like I regret doing that, but at the same time I'm glad I did it because it does not make me want to watch the anime anymore really. Cuz it's like, yeah, I watch certain scenes because I know certain fights are coming out I want to see animated, but eh, some form of fashion like it works out, but in the end sometimes it don't. So I would have to say it was Demon Slayer and What else I like sat down and catch up on? Um, Hajime no Ippo. Only because I'm not current with it, but I started going deep down the rabbit hole of reading, and yeah, it's still good. It is still good. That boxing manga anime, it's hitting every time. All pun intended.
Yeah. What about you, D?
I would say I was gonna agree with Terrence on Demon Slayer because I watched season one, then I watched Mugen Train. Like I watched it back to back. But then after the Mugen Train arc, I was like, oh, let me just read up on this. I don't want to wait for Swordsman Village, or I believe that was the next arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh no, it wasn't Swordsman Village. It was Entertainment something.
Oh, the entertainment district.
The entertainment district.
Yeah, Entertainment District. But I had already read all that after the Mugen Train arc, and I was like, um, this is pretty ass. And it was very disappointing because, like you said, Terrence, like I'm watching it just to see how they're animating these fights, and just things that make sense. Like in the Swordsman Village, they go to heal after certain battles, and then after one of the battles in the Swordsman Village, they don't go sit in the pool to heal anymore. Like they just like I don't know. It's just like okay, some of this stuff doesn't make sense, and I don't want to. Did everybody finish Demon Slayer, like the manga and everything, or no?
So funny enough, actually, because you guys reminded me of this, I did also was like, oh, Demon Slayer. I watched the first season. I watched the movie. I watched Entertainment District. Let me just read the manga. I stopped like midway through the Swordsman Village arc because I was like, this is all right. So I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I didn't finish it. I know about the ending though because I remember how
Okay.
pissed people were when the ending came out.
Yes.
People were pissed, but yeah, I agree with y'all.
And that's just one thing that really pissed me off. Cause I was like, oh, I'm really getting the anime because I first started anime with Attack on Titan. I was like, oh shit, like anime is actually pretty cool. And then Demon Slayer. Then I was like, you know what? Let me just get started reading mangas. And then I see the ending of Demon Slayer, and I was like, I might not ever read another manga again.
Yeah, boy, that ending was atrocious. That Kaisho guy said me being one of them. He was one of those dudes seeing that ending. He's like, why a big ass baby, bruh? Out of all the things, the main nigga at this point in time, the main villain that we was all waiting for was the Upper Moon one. That was the main villain we was all
Yes,
waiting
bro.
for. That fight was top
Yes.
tier, peak, everything like that. After they got done packing his ass up and Michael Jackson stepped up to the plate, that shit went downhill, bruh.
Yep.
Mhm.
Bro, and you know the crazy part? I think what really pissed me off about that was that they fought Muzan it was at a weakened state. So we didn't really get to see him at full power against the Demon Slayers. It was like, oh, here's this half version of Muzan that's getting weaker by the second. And then it was just like, damn, like he did all of that and he was still like at half power. Why didn't you just show us him at full power? Show us some other special shit to keep this shit going. It was like, I don't know, bro. But yeah, definitely, I'm gonna say Upper Moon One definitely got the best fight out of all of them. Muzan turned into a baby was like the goofiest shit I ever seen in my life.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. And going to the Kaisho guy, yeah, he was literally one of the first people I saw that commented about how shit the ending was. Is literally why I remembered him and one other friend. My friend Anthony was like, "What the
Yep.
fuck is this shit?" He was pissed too, and I was like, "Wow, it must be a really fucking shitty ending to get these two guys riled up about it."
Man, it was crazy. It was just a lot of things happening too fast. For we had an point in time. Like, oh my goodness gracious! I think the animation might actually. This is getting off topic a little bit. I think the animation might actually save that series though, because just the animation of the fights so far and what they've been building upon since like the first season they had. Then you had the Mugen Train. Then you had the Entertainment District. Now you got the Swordsmith. And right after this training arc, they getting right back to business. The animation is gonna help that series out. OD, just like Attack on Titan. But that damn story is gonna piss people off. But I think to get back on topic, I think the out of all of these joints, like the Demon Slayers, the Black Clovers, the Bleaches, the fuck Berserks, even all of these series, it was one that really just caught my eye. And Fire Force. Fire Force is a sleeper if you haven't finished that one.
Yep.
Um, I think the most engaged I've ever been in terms of wanting to read something immediately as soon as I watched a season is surprisingly enough is God of High School. A lot of people poop on that first season, but I don't know what it was about it. I was like, I'm interested about these power moves that these niggas got. And this nigga got a big ass cross on his chest or on his hands, and he's just pummeling niggas with this shit. And all of these move sets is different as fuck. But this nigga just is just giving hands. He's not even using no powers or anything like that. I read the manhwa, and boy was I blown away. That was so much information that I didn't expect. It was a manhwa where it was hard for me to put down the phone to actually focus on what I was doing because I was that much engaged with it. I think that would be by far my top tier animated that got me hooked on the manhwa or the written version of it. That and JJK.
I'm honestly surprised that you picked God of High School because I never really heard. I read it too initially and then I just watched it. I never really heard anyone talk good about it before or after the anime showed up. So I was just like, smack someone's enjoying, which is good. You know, that's awesome. It's just like it's so far and few between that you hear shit like that.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, the anime didn't do it justice at all. It probably turned a lot of people off to it. It did. Surprisingly to me, it turned me. I was like, all right, look, I'm interested. Let me see what they got to say. And I think it was the first manga that I ever read too. So it caught me completely off guard. I'm not sliding to the right no more. I'm actually scrolling down, and this shit is fucking got color too, so I can actually ascertain what the fuck is going on this page right now. I'm not confused. This shit that'd be the main thing that be getting me pissed about manga. It'd be so much shit going on, and I'd be like, this is a beautiful spread, but my nigga, where's the main character in all of this? And what is he doing right now? What is he doing right now? I can't see nothing going on. But no, I think that was it for me. Y'all got any honorable mentions though?
Yes.
Go ahead.
After episode one, no, after episode two of Solo Leveling, I just finished reading the manga. That shit is, I like that a lot. That's a little shout out to that one. I like that it's in color too. I can't do the black and white shit, bro.
Man,
The
so
manhwa's be coming through. Oh, go ahead, T.
Solo Leveling hands down.
Yeah. Did you
You
just
finished
read?
it, Rob?
Yeah, I finished it. Did you just read that
Oh,
recently, T? Or did you already? You've been read that.
I've been read it, but I went back and read it again because I had to refresh myself. I haven't went through it in a long time. There's no
Watch
way.
Darker Than Black. That Kasho guy said watch Darker Than Black. I feel like that was racist at some in some grand scheme of things.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Darker Than Black is crazy. What about you, Joker? You got any honorable mentions?
I'm trying to think because I will say Comey can't communicate. It's not at all like your guys where it's like shown or anything. Comey can't communicate. It's just like a really good story about a girl who has like trouble speaking because she has like kind of like social anxiety and the kind of relationship she builds with like the main character and the people that are there with like these weird unique characters. It's like very heartwarming, very like cute. um and this one I technically started reading first, but like me watching the anime like really got me more excited about like seeing shit animated, and that's like Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, because that shit is amazing. um just for being like an anime story about zombies, you know. And then on top of that, the animation for that whole series, despite the troubles that has happened in the background that people know about, is amazing. Is definitely good.
All right. Y'all want to do another one, or you think we good? We good with that for today?
Let me see. Let me
it's up to you,
see.
Rob.
Let me see.
Well, we only at an hour 16. It's damn near the fastest show we did.
Damn near, no cap. Almost, I think.
You
I think
know,
we. I
you
think
know
we
why?
probably had a
Because we
fast
ain't
one.
got we ain't got
Nah, that's crazy. Don't do that. That is crazy. Don't do that.
Okay,
We're
okay,
still checking a box.
we can hit this one. Do you consider shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender and shows like The Boondocks to be in the same category as anime, or are they just cartoons?
Them shits is cartoons, nigga. After watching what anime be like, them shits is cartoons.
I
I don't
think
know.
I
I
think
don't.
it's that nice border. I think they dibble dabble. They touch on aspects of anime. You know the difference between an animated show such as Avatar: The Last Airbender and an anime such as Jujutsu Kaisen. The animated shows is kind of like the PG-13 cousins or the PG-13's long estranged cousins two times on your mom's side type thing. Like it's that cousin that lives so far away, but y'all be hitting each other up and everything like that, still keeping in contact and still taking influence a little bit from what y'all see over social media, but that's about it. Minimal contact, all of that jazz. Like a Teen Titans, it remind me so much a little bit of an anime because especially it's more of a darker animated show, especially with the
Yeah, that's
slave
true.
parts. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a watered down version of an anime. But animes, you just got the leisurely to just do whatever the hell you want to do. Like the boys, I guess you could say. The boys,
What?
Invincible in terms of showing that same carnage that anime is used to showing, especially on the terms of like the animated shows in which you're talking about. I'm guessing like the Teen Titans, like the fighting ones, all of
I
that
feel like
jazz.
the
Avatar.
pacing is different in animes than it is in animated shows.
That is true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it depends. Because like the Boondocks, it did not naturally have a storyline that progressed throughout the season. It was like a compiling of all different ideas in one season. Where Avatar: The Last Airbender, it was getting to a main concept by the end of the season, and then following that and all of that jazz.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I honestly like. I think they can be considered not anime, yes, but Western anime. I would just put it in its own, saying this on our side. That's our anime. Like it's their
yeah,
attempts to try to adopt Japanese animation and put it into English format for us to have like good shows. Because don't get me wrong, the Avatar Heat will always be Heat. Uncle Iroh, that's my uncle right there. Even though he had two different voice actors, don't matter.
yeah.
But it's only certain shows that can reach that point. Like Boondock, for one, they took in so many different animation from like Naruto, and I think it was like another anime that I seen a clip for. Um and
Yo, quick question, y'all.
yes.
Do you would you have put Avatar in that anime category if like the original was like in Japanese? I feel like if I heard the shit in Japanese, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's anime. But hearing it in
Yeah,
English, I'm like, no, that's not like an anime because the expressions aren't there. Like what when you watch Demon Slayer or JJK, like the Japanese voice actors, like the amount of emotion and the emphasis on the different words that they use is there. Then when you're watching the show in English, it's like, what is it, the phonetics, right? It's a little different. Like how we sound is different from them. Like, I don't know. In my opinion, that's just how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, no, because it's weird. Because like when you like watch shit in Japanese, and I have like a better understanding of this just because I'm actively learning Japanese now. Is
Okay.
like like you said, it's the emphasis on what they say, and like the phonetics is a bit different because like when we say like what the hell or something like that, we just say like what the hell or what the fuck is that. Literally all they say is like nani. Like it's a single word, a lot of power behind it, and it kind of carries within the context of what they're talking about. And when you like you watch sub and you get like the understanding of what they're trying to say, but it's not exactly what they're trying to do, people are like, oh, it's much more serious and more defined what they're trying to say it. But yet in reality it's just like Japanese is like the word, or like I eat, instead of I'm eating, it's I eat, or like like super simplistic, and it also comes off as dumb too at times, but that's like its whole different thing. So it's like, yeah, definitely with Japanese, it's like a much more emphasis on those specific words, because it could be just the one word that they say, but it's like the emotion and the drive behind it. Meanwhile, like within English, it's like kind of giving you more of that context, explaining it a bit more, but it has to carry the emotion throughout it. At least that's how I see it. Um, yeah, no, I think that's that, like, from how I know Japanese now, I think that's how it comes off to me, at least.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
think the perfect example of that is Ninja Cowboy. Like, T, you put up the episodes in English, and it's cool. But when you get the Japanese versions and you hear the emotion being conveyed in their voices whenever something is heightened, it's not just you're seeing something heightened, you're seeing something action packed, you're hearing it too. The music is there. It's like a nigga being like, I'll kill you. In English, you're like, hi, nigga. Like, it sound like you got a pea shooter. Like, my boy got a water gun. He brought a water gun to a goddamn bazooka fight. Like, but you hear them saying that in Japanese, you could feel the anger and the angst behind his voice, where you like, damn, this nigga talking to me? You know that Drewski meme? Who he talking to me? He like, nah.
Yeah, I would say like the English voice actors are every time you listen to something in English that's anime, it seems a little bit more flamboyant. Like it's not as rugged as the Japanese voice actors are.
Now, there's a difference. There's some animes that sound better in English than in Japanese, than English sub or Japanese language. Dragon Ball for one.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
yeah.
Z for
Okay,
one.
yeah.
That is certain ones that can pass that where you can watch that in English dub and it sounds better. Don't get me wrong. Watching Dragon Ball Z in Japanese just feels right. It just feels right. But having Goku go instead of the anime like there's a pure difference.
Mhm.
It's certain. It just depends on the voice acting. That's all it is.
That, and I also feel like the amount of like lip room that they have, because it's like, yeah, like
Mhm.
Japanese can convey all this emotion and shit. It's because this shit is made for them. Like when
Mm-hmm.
they're voicing this shit as it's being made, or like however the process is, but they have like first dibs on it. So like when the mouth movement and shit is made, it's made to reflect that. When English dub people have to come in, like English voice actors, they got to dub around that. They got to dub around the lip flaps and all that shit. So they may not get to convey the emotion that they want to, depending on how it's like written. Because think about that Invincible joke. They're like, oh, they're hiding the
Mhm.
mouths and shit. Like if they have that flexibility to, like, when the character's like hiding the mouths or whatever, they could fucking do whatever they want or say whatever they want, and they can convey that emotion across it. So it's just like looping around those kind of like loopholes. They can put more emotion and express more, but then when it's relegated to like actually seeing them talk, you have to fit within those means, and it's hard. It's really hard, and that's what can help make or break an anime dub. Aside from like the voice casting, because the voice casting, like a voice actor can be fucking fantastic, like the girl with the Silver Surfer thing earlier. They could be a
Mhm.
fantastic actor, actress, but if their script or what they're given is dog, they got to work with it, and it's not going to be good, because like I could think like a number of like handful of like Japanese like subs and dubs that like Japanese dubs that are not as good as the English dubs. Like, you look at fucking Ghost Stories, and that's because like Ghost Stories failed in Japan. English, like America got the rights, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna make a bunch of racist ass jokes and shit," and they ran with it. Or
Mm-hmm.
you have like actual good acting, like if you look at, um, like Freeren's dub, where like people are like loving Freeren, like that whole dub because of the emotion behind it, and then they also just love the the Japanese cast as well. But there's like those differences you have to like be aware of because of all those great things those English voice actors have to loop around in.
Mhm.
So
Here's, oh my bad.
no, you're good. You're good.
Here's what I got, because this is helping a good segue for our final topic of what it could be. I want to know, what are y'all best Western animated shows ever in terms of y'all scale? You could throw in the Teen Titans. You could throw in Sony Pictures Animation 2 with the Spider-Verse movies as well, since that is technically US based. Anything that you can think of. I got a little list as well from some, I guess, some studios. Also Static Shock 2, I believe, was US based. Castlevania, if I'm not mistaken, was Western. Boondocks, obviously. You got even Adventure Time in there, which are kind of like the out of the ordinaries. Steven's Universe, all of that jazz. But what do y'all think? What are the top ones for y'all?
Animated shows.
True. Boondocks for one, hands down. One of the greatest cartoons or anime or Western anime, whatever you want to call it, like of all time. Because, geez, that show be hitting on all topics, and it still sit in today's times. Like it still fits with everything that's going on. Teen Titans, Static Shock, like everything I grew up with. That's Yu-Gi. Well, no, Yu-Gi-Oh's an anime. Um, you know what? Let me take it back further. I would have to say Recess.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bruh, Recess. What are some other ones that hit? Freakazoid.
We just talking about the art. We talking about just the artwork.
Yeah, like some like our top ones.
Ooh, what about Invaders Zim 2?
Oh,
Ooh,
that's-
Rocket Power. Ooh wee.
Okay.
Power.
I'm thinking like the Batman animated series with
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
like the dreadlocks, and then also Batman Beyond.
Yep.
Yeah,
Go
definitely
to Batman
Beyond.
shows.
Justice League.
The Spider-Man, X-Men giant.
Damn.
It's a whole lot. Scott Pilgrim takes off or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Samurai Jack. Did you fuck with that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Samurai Jack is goated.
Oh, Robot Chicken. I'm weak.
What about Code Lyoko? Right? That
Oh
that's
yes. Code Lyoko was a shit.
Code Lyoko was
Code
fucking-
Lyoko? I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Wait, you never seen Code Lyoko?
Rob's
think
seen
so.
Code Lyoko. Yes, you
Uh-huh.
have, bro. Everybody's seen Code Lyoko.
At
How do you
least,
spell that?
at least, Lyoko.
Okay. Oh, this is a French animation joint.
Yeah, it's when those like kids go into like this like
Virtual
computer-based
world.
program to like go into the tower.
It was Sword Art Online before Sword Art Online was a thing.
I have never watched this before.
Bro, you serious?
Yes. Are you dead ass? You
We,
gonna
Oh,
disrespect me in front of my face like this?
One of my favorite animations was Digimon. I thought
oh
that was-
man,
Wasn't Black Dynamite like a cartoon?
yes,
I
that
think
that was
so,
around
yeah.
that was
Yeah,
around
it
the
was.
same animation of Boondocks in a sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the Sonic series
Sweet!
and the Star Wars Clone Wars too. The Sonic series, I used to wake up every Saturday morning thinking about that shit. I mean,
Oh,
watching that shit.
Ninja Turtles. We got a lot
Dexter's
of-
Laboratory.
Oh, the 2003 version of the Ninja Turtles. That's my
Oh, yeah.
fucking jam.
Mhm.
Hell
Yeah.
I'm looking through all these Scooby Doo. I used to hate Scooby
Yo,
Doo.
I want to say Puss in Boots though, especially Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Fucking
That was
golden.
good.
Oh yeah, that animation was peak, especially the last fight.
I didn't like the animation at first. It had to grow on me because I was like, why does he look like this? Like, why does everything look kind of like choppy? But I don't know. I got over it. Especially after the voice acting of Death, I was like, no, this dude is he's pretty good.
Oh, he was very good voice acting. That was like that sent chills down my spine because you could tell how menacing that guy was.
Yeah.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Oh, classic.
That was a good one. That actually Foster's on this list supposedly beat out Avatar and the Boondocks.
I shall
Avatar
see.
beat out the Boondocks.
Hold up.
They're at 38 right now. I can share this in the
Um,
Discord. group
side
chat.
note. I'm watching WrestleMania. Guess who is on it right now? Y'all know the content creator I Show Speed?
He's on there.
He's on there right now, dressed as a Prime mascot, like in the Prime soda.
Shit.
Randy Orton's about to literally send this man
RKO's ass?
flying.
RKO his ass. Good shit though.
He might. He's about to send him. Yeah, he's about to send him through a table.
These streaming niggas doing it. Powder Puff Girls is at number 35.
What's at number one?
That's what I'm about to look right now. I was trying to just scroll through. Fisky
They gonna fuck
Dingo,
around and put
Adam Reed and
Courage the
Matt
Cowardly
Thompson.
Dog.
Frisky Dingo. That sounds racist.
Yeah, no, that's an Adult Swim show. That would nope,
Uh,
nope.
Sailor Moon is on here, even though that's
Risky
Japanese, if I'm
Dingo.
not mistaken. Risky Dingo. Ren and Stimpy is at 26.
Shaolin Showdown too, apparently.
Shaolin Showdown. I never heard of
He
Yeah.
RKO'd him and the table didn't break.
Beavis and Butthead is at 24. South Park is 23.
South Park.
Remember
Mobile Suit
the Jackie
Gundam
Chan?
is 22. Phineas and
Remember the
Ferb
Jackie Chan
21.
show?
Jackie Chan.
You
Oh,
said Shin
Dexter
Chin?
Adventures. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Jackie
Yeah.
Chan
Yeah.
show. It was Jackie Chan
What about that
with his uncle.
American Dragon, Jake Long too?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
classic.
One more
that was
thing.
the
No,
Kim Possible.
one more thing, Jackie.
Yeah.
Now, I know, John knows this one, but
What's up?
Rob, did you know the voice actor of American Jake Long, the American Dragon Jake Long, was the same voice actor as homeboy from Avatar, the
Nah, I didn't
Prince,
know.
the Prince?
Mm-mm.
He played Zuko.
Zuko?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Now that
didn't,
you
but now
say
that
it,
you say that, it does
yeah,
sound familiar.
yeah.
His voice does sound familiar now that I'm thinking about it. Big Mouth is at number 9. Goodness gracious. Bob's Burger is 8.
That shit needs to die, dude.
Wait, Big
What, Big
Mouth?
Mouth?
I think it has one more season, and that's it, and it's over.
God, it needs to stop.
Yo, that
Damn.
show's hilarious.
Steven's
Yo,
Universe is
now
at
that,
6.
now that I'm thinking about it, Terrence, and you mentioned Demon Slayer, you're just watching it for the fights. Like, what if? Well, not what if. I think if Avatar: The Last Airbender, while the animation was like already legendary, if they remade these fights like with Tanjiro against Upper Moon, what was it, Upper Moon 4, whatever, with like the fight with Azula and Zuko, or when Aang and Zuko go to the temple and learn like the secrets of fire bending and shit like that. Oh shit! I didn't ask the question. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I thought you froze, no cap. I see
Bro, I was
confused.
talking. I was like, "What was I about to ask this nigga?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one
Hear what
thing.
I'm about to say.
I'm gonna say this one thing. Once Rob got his new PC, it seems like nobody froze tonight.
Yeah. All right.
So
all
it's
right,
always
all right.
been his fault. We gonna blame him.
All right. Number 3 is Archer. Number 2 is The Simpsons. And number 1
Archer.
is this caught me off
Family
guard
Guy?
because I've never watched this shit before. BoJack Horseman.
Oh,
I forgot about BoJack.
I watched the first season and I just fell off from watching it.
BoJack Horseman. I would put Futurama over for BoJack Horseman.
That's what I
don't
would have
even know.
thought too, or like a Family Guy or American Dad or anything like that.
American Dad. Are you surprised American Dad's still going though?
I
Wait,
didn't
is
even
it?
know it was still going.
Yeah, it's on TBS. TBS has the rights to it. It's not on Fox anymore.
Goodness gracious,
They're
bro.
on
The
season
voice
8 or
actors
9.
not tired of that shit. They probably just stacking up bread at
It's
this point.
Seth
Though.
MacFarlane's people.
They stacking up the bread and they like, we staying in this genre right here, nigga. We not dipping a toe out of none of that other shit they got out there.
You know, it's actually a song with CeeLo Green on that show that's called Dip a Toe. Nobody has to know.
Yeah.
Yo, CeeLo plays a haunted hot tub. So Stan secretly goes into the hot tub when his wife is like, "We can go in there together." She goes to sleep. He goes down there. Dip a toe. Nobody has to know. It's like a whole 2-minute song segment. Joint be having me rolling each time, and then the hot tub tried to kill kill the wife. And it was like a horror movie segment. It's hilarious.
But yeah, I think we're gonna leave off on that though. We had a good blast from the past. We got to go back to like late 90s, early, mid, and late 2000s to 2010s animation. I think we had a huge list. So if y'all haven't tapped into a lot of those, Teen Titans, another one. I'm pretty sure somebody brought it up. Static Shock, another one too. All of those things. But episode 19, we're gonna wrap it up right here. We want to appreciate our special guest again, Musical Joker, for coming back into the building. As
Thanks for
always,
having me.
yes, sir, being a great guest with all of his vast knowledge, with all of the anime material as well that you bring. We appreciate you. If you got anything that you want to shout out that's coming up, please let the folks know if you don't mind.
I'm still working on some anime content. I'm really looking forward to talking about the live action Yu Yu Hakusho at some point because that's what I've been writing about for so long, especially after this move. And just more anime shit. Just looking to talk more about other anime, old, new things I experienced, those kind of things. Yeah. Again,
All
thank you for
right,
having
Ben.
me.
No problem, no problem. If you're watching this on YouTube, we will tag Musical Joker's YouTube down below. So when he does drop that content, y'all will be the first ones to know. Go give him some likes, go give him some subscribes on our behalf and everything like that. Tap into him. As you can tell, he's very knowledgeable, very vast with his stuff. We got Chef D as well, and T Smooth, of course. Tap into his Twitch channels where he games throughout the week, all sorts of different forms of content media that you can ask. Twitch.tv/smooth entertainment without the E, just as you see it on his name, as well as me, Legend of Sage, your honorable host. You can catch me at twitch.tv/legend of Sage if I'm not mistaken, and tap into our YouTubes, please. Everything counts, everything matters, and we appreciate y'all for tapping in. That Kaisho guy and
Jepstein.
Jepstein for popping into the chat today. We appreciate y'all. We going it's honorary episode 20 next week, so we excited, man. We appreciate y'all stopping in for another week. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Peace. And enjoy the eclipse too if you can see it.